Last time, we focused on contracts, its meaning, why we needed it, when and where, we needed contracts, and, why you needed it on your startup journey. However, I had a very special request to talk a bit about, the relevant prompts or styles of questioning that could enable you think of and create an exhaustive contract when the time is right. My best advice, as you can always imagine, is that you remove every form of emotions here. In fact, question everything and anybody because there is a possible outcome where you might need to protect yourself from even a supposed trusted business partner or even an investor. Hi, I'm Ijoma Akwiu, and I'm the startup architect. The best way to go about this task of creating an exhaustive contract is to create another checklist that you can continuously build on and review as certain events happen. Mind you, it is absolutely all right to subsequently review agreements or contracts. And the potential red flag that you should look out for is if any party refuses the right to review or amend a contract, because the absence of such an amendment or review enables them or gives them the room to unduly breach the contract or destroy initial intentions of the contract. Now, your checklist totally depends on the relationship or dynamics of the parties involved. Let's put this in the startup context, right? The fundamental contracts that you would come across include one, a founder's agreement. As you can imagine, that's between you and your other co-founders. Two, a non-disclosure agreement. For key persons, you might need confidentiality on the products your startup is building. Three, employment agreements or service level agreements, with your employees or service providers or contractors. Four, debt and equity financing agreements, etc. These are just a few of the contracts that you would see at the early stages. Generally, when you're drafting contracts, you need to look at them through the best and worst case, scenario or lenses. Apply this to the various elements, like, the best and worst case out of the parties, what you want for and from them. The best and worst case out of the subject matter or the reason why the contract is even needed in the first place. The best and worst case out of the due consideration, which is, which could be monetary exchange or whatever it is, and what could possibly affect it. You must have caught my drift by now. Overall, just ensure you seek and have ethical, keyword ethical, legal counsel through this process. People who uphold transparency, have no hidden agenda, and totally understand the need to implement best business practices. Also, considering the fact that human elements are at play here, it is ideal to have a periodic review of contracts, especially long term ones. That is, if concerned parties are honestly serious about the longevity and integrity of the business relationship. With the way people are moving these days, I would actually even recommend a weekly review or monthly review. But honestly speaking, just as you need to have a performance review for your employees and service providers or contractors, it is advisable to apply that same practice to other relationships, most especially your co founder relationship. But, because of time and, to assess the situation, a quarterly review would do. Because as a founder or founders of a startup, which make up the foundation of the startup, and there is a fault along the way, without joint and sincere commitment to rectify the situation or fault, avoidable death or suicide is the most predictable outcome here. It is not absolutely foolproof, but it is definitely a starting point to ensure and enforce boundaries in the applicable context that the contract is required. And the ultimate benefit of any fledgling tech ecosystem will definitely thank you all for doing the review. As usual, Your valuable time and efforts matter to me, and I can save them for you. So until next time, power to a transparent and accountable ecosystem.